Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you guys so much. So I have my beautiful team members here that we're going to chat about some oils of ancient scripture. So there's really 10 now. The Oils of Ancient Scripture is a beautiful collection that has really helped my family, especially my two little adopted brothers, with their health and wellness and their brain injuries. So, or their brains, brain injuries. And there is a beautiful aspect
Recording in progress.
of making sure, let's see, that this, so yeah, as you guys can tell, I'm also on recording. This will go up on YouTube. So hi, YouTube peeps, you guys are here. And a little bit about my story. So I used to get sick all the time and have some really, and ended up having really bad acne too, but a sinus infection, flu, pneumonia, and just kind of repeat. That continuously happened throughout my life. So with that, and then also when my little brothers got adopted, Javier was adopted first. And he started only eating certain foods, and he wasn't playing as normal as what he had in the past. So we adopted him. A few months went by, some things happened, and then we just noticed these different, he wasn't acting normal, right? He was acting different, right? So we ended up taking him to a doctor, and also my mom used the oils during his night terrors. That was another thing, which she has never experienced with me or my other siblings. I have, I'm one of 5. So with that, there was a beautiful,
No.
wait, I'll make sure this person's muted. Yeah, so with that, like, just the beauty of making sure that we are always aware of our sleep patterns. And either way, he wasn't sleeping normally. He was a baby. He was only getting like 2 hours sleep, and he was about 15 months. That is so abnormal. If you are not a parent, kids are supposed to sleep, especially babies. That's how their brains develop and everything. So my mom went to some Young Living essential oils. She had already been using oils, but her friend had sent her Young Living, and they worked. And that was like a huge thing for her. And therefore, she realized, she's like, well, what's the difference? The difference is our beautiful farms. And we have over 14 farms internationally. And so I've experienced my own health, and it's really helped my little brother. See, he eventually was diagnosed with autism. And recently he's like, and he didn't talk until he was 7, or potty trained, or 6. Either way, it took a while. So there's just a lot that we are really blessed with this collection. And this collection was created by a fellow Young Living distributor. Her name is Diana DeCant. She went and researched all of these studies that are in the essential oil desk reference, right? So there are studies on essential oils, and then she ended up putting them in a specific order. She really didn't think it would work. It really helped her grandson who had a stroke in utero, and it really helped her with this beautiful ability to collect, really just help him. So that's how this was developed. It was from her experience with her grandson, and then she's just used it to help other people and shared it with the world of Young Living to continuously help, because it's helped my little brother and anyone with a brain injury. I'm also super stoked on this because guess what? I've noticed recently, I need a little bit of what I call a tune-up. And y'all are probably gonna think, all right, well, sometimes I forget things and sometimes XYZ. But as a society, we have normalized that. That is not normal. We have normalized that. Our bodies are made to be perfect, and this can help, so we can make sure that we're using essential oils to help our bodies thrive. So essential oils are and have been used throughout history. Really, ancient Egyptians used to use them, Romans, Native Americans, they're really used throughout this beautiful history. There's hieroglyphics with them, and there's 188 references to various essential oils like frankincense and myrrh, which we're going to go over. And it's just really important that we realize that now we have the science to back it up, right? I'm not going to get too sciencey. There is The Chemistry of Essential Oils by Dr. David Stewart. So anyone who's like, dang, you can jump on that and check that out. But really the fragrance, the basics, the fragrance of an essential oil goes directly from so the aroma, right, goes directly from your nose to your brain. With that can help anything from your emotional state to your lifespan, because the limbic center of the brain is directly connected to the parts of the brain that control your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breathing, your memory, your stress level. I mean, the brain is the center of everything, right? So that's also the importance of using this beautiful collection. And for my little brother, since his was so severe and similar to Diana's grandson, what we did is we took this protocol, which I'm going to go over, and we did it and put cassia. So you take a drop. I can't do this on my feet, but that's where we applied it, is on the feet. So we put cassia, and you can choose whichever foot to start with. There's no wrong foot. If you want to start with the left, go to the left, start there, and then go to the right, and then go to the next oil. Cassia is really thick as well, you guys. So you might need to move your bottle around to get it out. And that's awesome. And you can also check. But yeah, so, or if you say, hey, I want to start with the right foot and then go to the left foot, that's fine. Just throughout this whole protocol, make sure that you stick with that. I really haven't used these oils in a while. And so the viscosity of essential oils are all a little different. Viscosity meaning like some are thicker and some are thinner than others. And with that, some take, you'll see with the other oils, some take a little bit of time and others come out really quickly. Here it comes. It's starting to come out, I think. There's also a little dot that, and cassia is also a thicker oil. I know these are full because I've only used them like 4 times. The other thing with essential oils is they work on a cellular level. And also with my own experience of making sure, there it goes. So that's a full drop. You guys can see. I'm going to kind of just rub my hands, because your hands also have reflexology points, right? And your thumb is where your brain reflexology is, right? So I'm going to spend a little extra time there. I want to rub both my hands together. Don't just want to work the left side. I want to work the right side of my brain. And it's the same with the big toe. So we did as my little brothers were younger, and when I do this on other people, I do rub the oils all over, and I do kind of do a little bit more reflexology. So like pinpointing the big toe, the brain area, right? So the thumb area for the hands. So that's what we did. We did it on the bottom of the feet, and that's usually how I apply it to other people in this protocol. So cassia is the first oil. Another thing about essential oils is you might need a carrier oil. Now on the bottom of the feet, you usually do not need a carrier oil. And also with doing this with any kids that have brain injuries, the bottom of the feet are going to be the best, because the fact that you don't need a carrier oil, at least most people don't, unless they have a really heavy metal, a lot of heavy metals in their body. So they're really toxic. Then you might need a carrier oil. So, but most people don't, they're not that toxic. Give me 1 second. So if they're not that toxic, then this is going to be an interesting recording. Then you're great. The reflexology points. So hands and the bottom of the feet, great place. So cassia, emotionally, if you are feeling dependent on someone else, The opposite of, and this time I'm going through the emotional aspect of each of these oils, as well as the physical. So the opposite of dependent is steadfast. So being loyal, being faithful, being committed to whatever your purpose is. And your affirmation that you could say with applying this. Now, whenever I've applied these oils to my little brothers or anyone else, I usually literally just apply them pretty quickly. I don't wait minutes. I just kind of apply them. That's how they've worked. And this protocol has worked for hundreds, probably now thousands upon thousands of people to have some level of improvement with a brain issue. So, but again, experience it for yourself and for those that you love around you. I can only tell you what I've experienced with my little brother. He's beautiful and amazing. So I am determined is your affirmation. If you would like to say I am determined when you smell the aroma of cassia. You can also put this on the bottom of your feet. It's kind of hard to be like, what? You know, apply oils to the feet and show you guys. So cassia, if you're feeling dependent, steadfast, be loyal, be faithful. Your affirmation is I am determined. The alarm point is your will at C5. So that's like just your will. If you have a lower will. I'm also doing a lot of the emotional aspects with this. This is the first time I've done it this way because of the things that have happened this last few years. And some of you might have noticed some people are acting a little interesting. So that's to help anyone who's open to grounding and focusing to do that, to use the oils, right? Okay, so cassia is also really good for supporting our blood and our immune system. So I'm going to say that again. Cassia is also really good for supporting the blood and the immune system. Back in the day, it was determined and it has been used since the 16th century BC. And it's in the medical records of Ebers Pyrrhus. So now the next oil is Annika. So Annika, if you feel like you're in terror, the opposite of terror is safety. And I'm also going to take off my rings just because I don't really need to put them on the metal. I want to put them on my skin, right? Because essential oils absorb in the skin within 30 seconds and they're fully absorbed in the body because they go into our bloodstream. Anything really you put on your body goes into your bloodstream. Hence the importance of putting and knowing the ingredients of anything you put on your body. So Annika, I surrender, is that affirmation. See, Annika is also very thick. Annika is another oil, or is an oil that only comes in this collection. So the value of this collection is huge, meaning you get, it's a great bang for your buck, right? So on the emotional side, you could just apply it, right? Or if you want to add an affirmation, I surrender, right? You want to surrender, let go of the negative, get back on the side of feeling safe, because we have a power in our thoughts and we can accept or we can create issues in our mind, right? So the next oil, also Annika is really great for your sinuses. It's amazing for your sinuses. Now, usually when I get this collection, I use it the way I've used it with my little brothers. I use it the way I'm teaching you guys right now, but usually on the bottom of my feet. Like I said, I apply it to my feet, or someone else's feet. Nate gets a lot of these. So cedarwood is the next oil, and cedarwood is really great for sleep. And it's also really great for naturally creating melatonin. Another thing with applying essential oils, for an adult, 1 to 3 drops is great. So when I was applying them on my little brothers, I would apply them to me first and then to them, right? So again, when I apply this to Nate or anyone else, I get the benefits too, which is really cool. But for them, you know, they were probably anywhere from, I think we started around 2 with Javier, and Santi was a little younger. They got probably less than a drop. That's fine. I mean, we could have did like a toothpick swirl, but we just dropped it on us and put it on them. The body will take what it needs and get rid of the rest with essential oils. So cedarwood, if you are feeling conceit, so conceited, right? You know, the opposite of that is gentle or meekness. I know who I am, right? You want to get back to that core of knowing who you are. I know who I am is the affirmation. And it's really good for the alarm point is the hypothalamus. And what I mean by the alarm point sometimes are actually really with our emotions, they will get stuck in physical areas of our body or have issues there. We all have a spot when we're super stressed out. Like some people either overeat or some people can't eat, or they might have like pain in their neck, right? Or pain in their right shoulder, or pain in their left knee. It's just these different areas that we all have because we're all different, right? We're similar, but we're different. That's the thing that makes us unique. So the next one is sandalwood. So sandalwood, oh yeah, and cedarwood is also really good for your hair, your skin, and your nails. A lot of these ancient oils are really good for your skin and having youthful skin. Sandalwood is one of them. Sandalwood is really good for that youthful skin, as well as it has a really good high vibration. So it's great for meditation and prayer. And if you're in fear, which again, we're all kind of recovering from some level of fear from the past few years, the other side of fear is awareness or faith, right? And faith in like you're gonna face whatever you're afraid of. So you gotta have that courage. So your affirmation is I face the unknown. The alarm point's also the third eye. So you can apply some of these on the alarm points, but like I said, for this protocol, I usually apply this on my feet. Right now I'm doing it on my hands because you guys get to see it a lot easier. See, oh, well, I don't know if you can really tell, but I literally moved. Sandalwood is so thick. I'm surprised it came out a lot quicker than cassia, but either way, it was so thick. I just kind of, before I did that, I could just see it like sitting on my palm, like just chilling there. So sandalwood, like I said, is I face the unknown, right? So you could say that, or you could just keep applying the oils. It's up to y'all. Myrrh, as you getting you guys on the emotional aspects, and some of these oils have more than one emotion that it can help, right? I just picked the ones that I felt were really good for everything that's going on right now in the world and us transitioning, right? When we are in fear and we have to have that faith and face it, right? We have to have that courage. So myrrh is also really good for your skin, right? It's another oil but it's really great for your teeth and your gums. So myrrh is not a vitality oil. So we have vitality oils. Myrrh is also really gummy, and it's already kind of stuck. I should have broke it before, not broke. Well, it's a really resiny oil, and therefore it's kind of glued itself back together. There we go. I got it. Just had to loosen it up. You guys will sort of see how it's kind of gummy. So I try and use myrrh as quickly as possible. There's 2 drops. So myrrh is really good for your teeth and your gums. So sometimes you can apply it on the outside, right? If you wanted, or you can do whatever you feel is best. With myrrh and applying it for this beautiful protocol, it is our 5th oil out of the 10th oil. So we're halfway done, and then we can talk and communicate Emotionally, if you have the fear of facing the world, again, some people might be going through that, and that's okay. If you are one of them, we're here, like I said, judgment-free zone. The opposite of that is embracing the world. I am safe. So I am safe is your affirmation. Your alarm point is your adrenals. Can you guys see how interesting? Like, how many people have you heard over the last few years say, oh, I'm just so tired? They're in adrenal fatigue because they have the fear of facing the world, right? And they just need to embrace it. So when I read that, it just made sense to me. I was like, oh, right. And also with that, they could also be lacking nutrients. Ningxia Red is a great supplement, and it's a juice that everyone should be on, as well as enzymes and alkaline, and there's just different things. But Ningxia Red, I would highly recommend you guys add that to your daily regimen. So Cypress, if you are feeling disrespected right now, the opposite of disrespect is respect. Your affirmation is I am free. Also, with Myrrh, your affirmation, and you should probably be smelling this, or smelling these aromas every time. With Cypress, or with Myrrh, sorry, going back to Myrrh, I am safe is your affirmation, in case I am safe. Okay, now to Cypress. So if you're feeling disrespected, the opposite is respect. I am free of insecurities is your affirmations. So I am free of insecurities. Cypress is also really great for circulation. How I remember that? C for Cypress, C for circulation. So if you know anyone who has issues with their hands, right, getting really cold, or their feet, then you can suggest Cypress. So again, I am free of insecurities. My hands are going to be really oily. So that's another reason why it's best to do most of this on your feet. Or sometimes, like, if I want to make sure my hands are oil free, because I know I'm going to be touching a lot of papers and whatnot, I will just drop it, like, you know, like put your feet together like a pyramid, a triangle, right? And just rub your feet together, between each. So Cypress, I am free of insecurities. Your align point is your veins, which I thought was interesting with anyone. So I just always think it's interesting when you're looking through and you're reading and learning about these different things, because that physical body is connected to our emotional body. And then sometimes for yourself, and if you have any issues with your cardiovascular system or your veins, are you feeling respected? That's because sometimes when I learn this stuff, I'm all like, oh, do I feel worthy, right? Do I feel free? Just things to ask yourself. So Hyssop is our 7th oil. And who's ever swallowed some emotions, right? I think we've all done that. So Hyssop is really good for if you're swallowing emotions, and the opposite of that is movement. Also, the alarm point is your esophagitis, which is above the larynx. So it's really interesting. If that's blocked, you're blocking your airway, you're blocking your ability to breathe and or communicate, right? And how do we communicate about our feelings, right? I feel great, I feel shitty, I feel sad, are words. So that's also a very interesting thing. Or so I raise my awareness is this beautiful aroma of hyssop. When you smell that, I raise my awareness, because you want to be aware of what you're feeling. Feelings to me, and the importance of feelings is just telling us what side of the scale we're on. Because really, we live in a duality world. We can't have light without dark. We can't have faith without fear. And those are the two basic: faith and fear, love and hate, right? Those are the, like, laughter, anger. Those are opposites as well. So you can always get to the opposite side of a stick by recognizing, oh, hey, I'm in fear over here. Let's get back to faith. Let's shift from anger and get what's a memory to get me to laugh, you know? Or if you know, now you know, hey, if someone's angry, get them to laugh. Just here to help, y'all, here to help. Okay, so we did hyssop, myrtle. So myrtle, if you're suppressing life, right? The opposite of that is contact. Again, right now, there's a lot of people who need contact. We are human beings. We need to connect with people in person. So I regenerate is your affirmation. I regenerate. And the alarm point is your chi, which is also, I thought, very interesting because, and it just kind of made sense, right? If you're suppressing life, your energy, your chi is not going to be there. So again, the importance of paying attention to your feelings, your emotions, because that's also our frequency level. So I regenerate is an affirmation, and you guys can make up your own. You totally can. Or again, you don't even have to use the affirmations. This works with just applying the oils. Like my little brother, I mean, there were two, and then no words or less. One and two, you know, and then Javi didn't talk till he was 5 or 6 or 7, whatever. So our 9th oil is cistus. So if you feel like you're a rescuer, right, and like become a consistent rescuer, you're always handling things for someone else, you're probably pouring from an empty cup, and you're not. And like, so this is like you're not taking care of. That's that type of rescuer. The opposite of that is regeneration. And your affirmation is, I express self-reliance. We're always being rescued. So again, this is another energy channel. And cistus is also really good for supporting the nervous system and calming down, right? And the aspect of all of these oils, what they're really doing is they are taking, so a little bit of science here, and you guys, all the science people, you guys can look up these constituents and praise and all of that. So the phenohydrols are cleansing. So the beginning of this is all cleansing oils, right? And this caspaterpin is removing the unwanted or blocked, like it's removing a block. So if you are blocked in traffic, you have to move the car in order to, you have to move the block. And then the monoterpenes are solidifying the good. They're putting the better in there. So we're kind of on that aspect of solidifying the good. And we just did cistus. I express self-reliance is your affirmation. I express self-reliance. Kind of going backwards, myrtle is really good as a deodorant and can remove that unwanted hair. And it's also really great. Myrtle is great for supporting the lungs and thyroid. And then hyssop is really good for supporting the lung function and circulation as well. And then, yeah, I told you cypress is circulation. So we're on the 10th oil, frankincense. Frankincense, if you're like an FU, right? If you're in that FU to the world or just to anyone, the opposite is detachment. You have to detach from that ego, because that's the alarm point, is you're too much in ego, right? And I picked this one because there are a few other emotions, but I picked this one because my current thing is they only know what they know, right? We all want to have an opinion about everything that's happening. I only know what I know, right? I've heard some interesting things, but honestly, sometimes I'm like, well, I only know what I know. It's an interesting theory. cool. But if it doesn't connect the dots for me, then you should always choose what's best for you, right? That's how freedom is. So frankincense, I stand in my power, right? You want to detach, but you want to be standing in your power. And that's that. So I hope you guys can see the benefit of using these oils. And like I said, what this is doing in this specific order is cleansing. It is solidifying, so it's cleansing, it's removing the unwanted, and then it's solidifying the good. That's why you put it in a specific order. And then can you guys see the benefit of joining my team? Because I love educating everyone and just doing things a little different each time, adding a little bit more. And then can you see the benefits of sticking with this protocol, right? Like I said, if you are kind of in a later age, or if you've had or know someone who's had some brain trauma, do this consistently. Run these oils out. Most of them have about 85 drops because they're the thicker ones. So with what we did with Javier and Santi, we put them on in the morning and at night. So that's 45 days roughly, a little less. It's a little less than. So, and then we waited a little bit, like maybe 2 or 3 months, and did it again. We waited a little bit and did it again. Sometimes over time, right? Like my brother gets a tune-up, but it's not running the bottles out. But in the beginning, that's what we did to really help him. So for anyone who is ready to order, there's a good, better, best scenario. The good way is you could just grab, actually for this, with this collection, and it's I think like $275. You guys will all get the wholesale and unlock the wholesale saving with grabbing the Oils of Ancient Scripture collection. So I'm going to drop my link for those of you on the Zoom, and I will unmute as well. And for those of you on YouTube, all that info is below, and the way to connect with me is below as well. So I look forward to connecting with you. Thank you guys so much on YouTube, and I'm going to unrecord for these beautiful people.